Hey everybody, it's Mark Torgl, Melvin the Mop Boy from the Toxic Avenger, and I'm talking to Zano and Space Viking from G.U.T.S podcast.
Yeah, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Mark,
You're so awesome.
legend, man.
I'm Zano the Vision. Your boy ATX and Space Viking.
Low-key as me.
Trying to figure shit out. This changed my life forever. Yes.
Hey! What's up? Welcome to G.U.T.S podcast. It's Zano the Vision.
Space Viking.
Low-key as me.
And Dread Central Network.
And Dr. Bizzle.
Dr. B.
Dr.
Also here.
B.
Dr. B is in the fucking crib.
And we
Why
back.
I said Dr. B? Y'all tripping. Y'all got me saying B.
What is
I mean, y'all got me saying V, like VE and shit.
No, B.
I
That's
know.
with Brittany.
I've been
As
watching.
in bitch.
I've been watching Beyonce videos today, so
Why?
I don't know. The
MTV
90s
was showing
Why?
MTV 90s videos came on, and
MTV
I
Classic.
caught a reminiscent love for Kelly Rowland again. So Kelly Rowland, if you ever listen to our podcast, I want to enter your box.
her?
Kelly Rowland.
Why Kelly?
Really was bad.
Kelly
Not
was
really
bad.
though.
Yeah, bro.
And she was in Freddy vs. Jason,
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
man. Yeah.
It always comes
Back like we never left in
Been
this
on
bitch.
theme.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Back like we never left. Been dealing with the bullshit outside.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna talk about that because everybody been talking about that.
Hey.
But I ain't seen these fools in a while. And I've been bouncing off the walls
Oh.
and coming up with ideas, trying them and failing and doing it again.
We are back.
Yeah, we're in this bitch.
We got live ass.
So,
stuff
dope
today.
show today. This is the
Yes.
fucking Toxic Avenger show.
That's
Yes.
right.
Tromaville.
Yeah, and shout out to Mark Torgl, man. We have a dope interview with
Yeah.
him, the Toxic Avenger himself.
Appreciate you, Mark, man.
Yeah, thank you, Mark, for coming on the
Co-interview.
show.
Oh, I just drank a coffee. I'm about to.
Hold on, I want to and shout out to Troma, man. Troma started following us
Yeah.
on Instagram. That's fucking huge.
Yeah, I was telling old Dr. B about Trauma. Like,
They're
Yeah,
my
that's
favorite
real.
movies.
That's
it
real.
takes a few movies to kind of understand what they are. Like
Yeah.
they're purposely like that.
Yeah.
You know, they purposely do weird, wild. I think they purposely have bad actors. You know,
Well, they're all just volunteers.
Yeah, they violent. Yeah, you'll hear about that in the
Hey, you
interview
want?
though.
Troma will take you in and say, like Mark said when we interviewed him, they had an NYU film school. They put up a thing, be in a movie. So they had him. They had
Yeah.
him come in. Hey, you want to be in a movie? What do you want to do? He goes, I want to do this. I go, okay. Now what else do you want to do?
Yeah, they
I
let
want
you
to
do
be the
whatever.
script supervisor. All right, you're the script supervisor.
no shit.
Yeah, man. And they've been independent and making money for 40 years.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
still doing it.
Still
How about the
doing it.
kids? Where do the kids come in?
The kid, I know, right? They just
Who are the kids?
In the movie.
They volunteers.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Could
guess.
sign up at the
Probably,
kindergarten.
No, he
On
said
the
a lot of people.
playground?
He said a lot of people from like school and just so I guess around
whoever
the
wants
area.
to be in it, or somebody's cousin, somebody, it's all.
they can talk.
Yeah, what about the
indie.
babies?
Here,
Yeah.
it's babies.
Babies,
Yeah,
they
but-
signed
but
contracts. Too.
Listen to this. I texted Mark, man, after the interview. I said, "Hey, man, you were the coolest. Thank you so much." And he goes, "Man, look what he said. I wish I was as cool as you two. It was fun. Cheers, Melvin." That's so cool, man. So shout out to Mark. He's the coolest motherfucker.
Yeah, he's dope as hell, man.
Yeah,
He's
great.
trying to trump your humbleness with more humbleness.
Man, he's cool, man.
I see your move, Mark.
Yeah.
You can't get one over on
Yeah,
me.
Mark, awesome guy, and it was such a crazy moment to think, what are we doing? Like, I get to talk to
Yeah.
the Toxic Avenger.
Like the flagship movie for one of the biggest movie
Yeah.
companies in
Dude.
horror.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like I was telling Dr. B, I've been knowing and kind of like I've known about the trauma world for a long, long time. So the singer in the first band that I've ever went on tour with, David, right? He was a huge trauma head. And I think they're like one of the first ones to have like to be a movie company and have like a cult following as a movie company, you know? Not like a movie like itself, but the whole company, they would do whatever They would watch whatever they put out, they were into.
Yeah.
And they used to have this thing called Trauma Vision, where they would mail out VCR tapes, and it would just be like little small trauma films, you know, like 20-minute, and it'd just be the wildest shit from like one of the hounds from hell escaped hell, and it became this woman, this kid's pet dog, and just wild shit like that. You never knew what they were gonna have in their movies, but they
they go all out.
You know what? It's all about entertainment, man.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like they've pumped out some of my favorite movies. Monstered, a movie about a turd that takes over a town. Most of the fuckery movies are trauma movies.
Yes.
You know, we do a whole podcast segment based on
basically all
trauma movies. Yeah.
Well, and one thing they do have, all the trauma movies have a
Killer Nerd.
Yeah.
They all have a certain flavor to it.
Yeah.
Like the way it's shot and all the colors and the like all the textures is very, very trauma. Even the makeup itself, the makeup itself has its own texture, which is really fucking good.
It's like, I love the whole, like, Traumaville, USA. It's in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And it's like a toxic waste. So most of their movies have to do with a toxic waste something. So like the Monstered is some guy got in with the turd and the toxic waste, and it, you know, like a criminal turned into a toxic waste turd. Killer Nerd didn't have toxic waste, but most of them are like toxic waste. Something like one of my other favorite movies that I think is their second best movie is Return to Nukem High, which is about a high school.
And a lot of the characters from here are in that movie.
Or no, that's Class of Nukem High, the first one. But
there's a first one?
Well, there's the second one.
Yeah.
There's the second Return to Nukem High,
Just like
Subhumanoid Meltdown.
There's a Toxic Avenger Part 2.
Yeah, there was.
I think there's a part 3,
Yeah,
right?
Hey, but check out 2 though, man. 2
there's
you're
like
gonna be
6
like,
of
oh man, they got like sexual robot.
No, that was
robots.
Citizen Toxie. That was part 3 that we watched.
That was Part 3? I thought that was 2.
They're all from Dr. B's neck of the woods up there in Jersey.
Yeah, my other nickname is Jersey B.
Oh,
Jersey B.
Yeah.
And I can verify that the toxic waste is real.
Really?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like
the
a thing
Hudson
there?
Bay on the Jersey side. That's
you
why
always hear
Newark's
about it.
called the armpit of
Shit,
America.
you gotta roll to Port Arthur then. Shit, as soon as you roll up in there, you smell it.
So you couldn't go swimming in the Hudson Bay?
No one would ever
No.
go swimming in the Hudson.
That's like a thing, though.
Ever.
Because I remember on the Steven Seagal movie, what was the one, not March for Death, the other one, he's like,
Out for Justice?
yeah, Out for Justice. He gets the dog food, and he goes, "Hey, don't give him nothing from New Jersey. I don't want that dog to be, you know."
Oh shit.
Like, that's like a whole
Yeah.
thing. And
When
then,
my mom came to visit, we went to Austin. You know, everyone's in the water in the river around Austin. And she's like, I wonder what it would be like to live in a city where the river was nice enough to be in.
I know,
You
right?
know?
that's crazy.
That's
Look
like
at how
Austin.
many bodies are in that
I also
fucking
A lot
have
of
that.
bodies.
They also
Yeah.
have that pool. Y'all saw it's like a pool. It's like they put the diving boards on the side.
Where?
It's in Austin.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Jersey.
Nah, hell nah.
No diving
So
boards
the
there.
Toxic Avenger.
Hey, you can't take him nowhere.
Toxic.
I
Toxic.
quit.
I want to hear Dr. B's thoughts on the Toxic Avenger since she just watched it. For
She
the
said
first
she
time.
loved it.
I did love it. I thought it was a love story. It also had gore scenes. I thought that I didn't like the meanness in the beginning. It really hurt, you know. It really hurt to see how mean and cruel
That
those
word of
people
Melvin?
were. Yeah, it hurt me. You know, I felt sad.
They did Melvin dirty, man.
Yeah.
Everybody was so loud and screaming and then shit every time.
Yeah, very aggro. Like when he's stressing me out. He's just always shaking and
Yeah.
like everybody,
Smoking cigarettes
all
in the
the
gym.
bad guys that
Yeah.
they're all shaking and very, very tense the whole time.
Yeah.
And then when I think the first time I asked, "What are we watching?" was when they were scoring points for running over people. And I was
Dude.
like,
Yeah. And I noticed
That's
that
my shit, though.
I want to know who if they made that up, because you know people used to do that in the cars when you're riding around. Like, man, you hit somebody, it's 50 points. Who started that shit? Was it Trauma? Because they had to get it from somebody to start doing that.
No, that was a thing that was I think a big fad back then was mailbox baseball.
I guess, man. But I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
Where they drive by with the bats. We did that shit.
yeah,
No, I'm
I've
talking
never-
about. We used to be in cars with people used to be like, actually, like if you hit somebody like a human, it's 50 points. Shout out to
Jesus.
Port Arthur once again. They used to be like,
Yeah, I never heard
hit
about that.
hit some damn body. I'm like, damn, okay.
The
But yeah, man, this
So the movie starts out, Toxic Avenger. You gotta love trauma movies because they know it's about entertainment, man. As over the top as you can go.
Yeah.
Opening gym in the Tromaville Health Club. Of course, everything is Tromaville. You know, Tromaville High School, Tromaville. But Tromaville Health Club, there's all kind of like weird shit going on. There's chicks with their boobs out. There's like two dudes in spandex making out. Mm-hmm. It's like everything's shocking and over the top. They're gonna throw that at you in a trauma movie.
The other part that had me feeling was the gun in a baby's face, and then they killed that dog. I didn't like those parts.
In the restaurant.
That's my favorite part of the whole movie is the fast food where the bad guys,
the robbers.
Yeah,
the taco place.
The bad guys go to the fast food joint.
Hey, what's the Taco Tuesday?
The toxic, and then Melvin turns him into he turned that one guy into a sundae.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then
the second time I asked, "What are we watching?"
I know, right?
And he turned the other one. He put his hands in the fryer and then pulled his hands out of the fryer, and then he put the other guy in the pizza oven. But the bad guys are so fucking ridiculous. Like the chick's blind. And they're like, oh yeah, they're just gonna start raping her right there. They blow the fucking dog away.
That boy blew the dog through the.
And then so Toxic Avenger comes up. He's like, the guy's like, yeah, motherfucker. He pulls his fucking arm off and then beats him with it. Dude. He's like, ah,
and then puts him in the oven.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Toxic Avenger's voice? Post
Toxic.
Yeah.
It's very handsome.
It was, whenever it would turn on, I'd be like, what?
It changed to a whole. Yeah, it wasn't.
It's very.
Barry White.
Well,
yeah, it's like,
not really. It's like daytime television handsome. It's like Young and the Rest. He sounds like
Victor
Newman.
That soap opera voice.
Yeah, he's very Victor Newman-esque. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, you
look at the kids. The kids are just
and it's very 1984, which is when it came out.
The music is so like,
and they got one part, bro. This chick is wearing this dress that is off the fucking wall. When they were, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know which dress.
When they're going, he's like, I paid him $15. The whole place is ours for the night.
Oh,
the girl's dress. It says like Flash on it, and it's just like. Just super 80s, really, really dope.
Man, they had a bunch of shit just going on.
Think about how...
You think about it, this came out 84, right? So that's around, Freddie time. So this really just flew under the radar.
80s are the best, man.
Yeah.
But like, one thing I love about all trauma movies, especially this one.
Out there.
But there's always tits in them.
Yeah.
They're gonna, they understand, look, okay, we don't have this budget, but what we can do is we know what people want to see. Boobs, violence, explosions,
and funny shit,
and funny shit. And in this one, it's like poor Melvin, the mop boy. They make him wear a tutu,
and then he keeps it on the whole
time. and then so they play a prank on him. They cut the lights on. They got him making Julie, making out with a goat.
Yeah, no shit.
Then it's like, you think that's gonna, like in a normal movie, like where they bully someone, that would be it. But then they start attacking this poor bastard. And he's like, and there are all these people chasing him around. He jumps straight out the window to the two truck drivers with a toxic waste who are just doing blow in the middle of the fucking truck. Shit. And he lands right in the toxic waste. And then the music's like, duh.
Then he catches on fire and they're still chasing him.
Yes. And they're laughing at him, rolling around.
And as all the trauma fans know this, and we talked about it with Mark. That fire scene, trauma, they'll reuse the same scenes in movies. If it's like a great, that fire scene, that's like in 4 different trauma movies.
And like we can't duplicate that. So we go. But what's crazy about it, he said when he touched the police officer hands, that shit actually caught on fire. Like some shit dropped on him. Yeah, it's in the interview, so y'all gonna love that, man.
I think I was telling this to Dr. B is. They either had some money or they used their money well, but that all comes together a lot clearer. Is because they wrecked a lot of cars and there was a lot of explosions.
Yeah.
But I think now that you say that, it's probably because that car wreck scene and those explosions they used over and over again.
Yeah. They used them over and over and over.
Because he said in some of them, man, like when shit was happening, it wasn't supposed to happen. like the car almost flipped over, and they was telling them just run with it. Like because they didn't have enough film to be like, yeah, bring it back. They're like, whatever scene got shot and it happened, just let it happen.
Because it was filmed in, it wasn't digital. You couldn't erase it.
It wasn't like, oh yeah, we're gonna mix it in. No, man, they had to film it and keep it going.
And they, so shout out to Lloyd Kaufman and Michael Hurst.
Look at these boys got
who
the
make all the
man. Where they get the tank from, man? Look at these boys.
But my favorite quote of the movie at the end when the big fat evil mayor or whoever it was, Toxie's fighting him, and he's like, "You fat slob, let's see if you have any guts."
And his guts fall out.
Yeah.
And he tries to push him back in.
Guts podcast is then born.
Yeah. Where this whole thing stemmed from.
Yeah, man.
Well, the guy that played Toxie, his name's Mitch Cohen, and he was only in 3 movies. Toxie 1, Toxie 2, and Clerks.
No shit.
Clerks.
Yeah.
Another great independent film.
Oh, that's dope.
Man. The I don't know what else I have to say about it. It's just like the thing about is like, so they showed him like helping like kicking all the criminals' ass who were like, they have cigar face. The criminals were fucking evil as shit. They got cigar, but all the other things they show him doing, like when he's helping the town, he'll like open up some popcorn for a lady. He'll help like an old lady down.
He opened a jar for the lady in the window.
Can we talk about popcorn being in a jar though? Was that an 80s thing or what? I was like, wow.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it could have been jelly, peanut butter.
Yeah, it could have been anything.
Yeah, but it's like the kills are always rad. The criminal, like cigar face. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, there's just like a he-she, a he-she out of nowhere. Like, I don't think he's gonna take the money. It's like, what the fuck?
This boy had a 12-year-old girl for $12. So
oh my god!
That's the fucking point
shit
of the trauma movies, man. It's like so over the top, dude. This guy, he's like, hey, 12 years old for only $12, and she's like, you said you were going to take me to the David Bowie concert.
That's not David Bowie.
And then Toxic comes out of there and just beats him to shit. It's a dope movie, man.
Also, I think that it was kind of selfish of him to take his blind girlfriend into the toxic wasteland to live. That was really selfish. She's definitely going to get cancer.
He's like the superhero villain all in one, man.
Well, how hot was his blind girlfriend, though?
Super hot.
Super hot. Which goes to show, it doesn't matter if you're blind and helpless, as long as you're hot.
Well, and it's one of those things you can't really explain the things about the movie as far as like the texture and how it is and what it looks like in the silliness or the coolness of it. You have to watch it. But the makeup and the gore in it are really fucking good. When the dude's head got they ran the kid's head over.
Yeah.
It's really good. It looks
even
real.
When he dropped the weights on the dude's face.
It looks real. The only one that didn't really look real was the milkshake in the mouth.
Oh yeah,
that was
a
just
bit much.
weird.
But I mean, they went for it.
I'm surprised they didn't show, and you may not have thought this was the most intense one, but I did, which was the woman getting put onto the hot coals on her bare bum.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my
What did he
God.
say? What did he say to her? He's like, that'll teach your hot ass a lesson.
Yeah, they didn't show anything after that. Maybe because it was her cooch.
Yeah, he was in there just fucking people up.
Yeah, he's about to say it. Fat slob, see if you have any.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh, the guts was born.
Guts.
Yeah.
So
that's the Toxic Avenger.
I need one
Toxic
of those
Avenger
shirts.
Yeah,
Man.
Toxic Avenger. One of my all-time favorite movies. Definitely my favorite superhero.
You definitely can tell why it's still around. Like, why people still know about it and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's just one thing you could say about this movie and Trauma. They go for it every time.
Definitely.
Whether they nail it or not, it's either going to be a huge miss or they're going to hit it out of the fucking park. And it's usually a little bit of both. You know?
I've never seen a Trauma movie I didn't like.
Well, of course. Jesus.
No, but that Trauma's my shit. Big shout out to Trauma. Appreciate that follow. Uncle Lloyd, Mike Hurst. Thank you for making the movies that made me who I am today. Okay.
Well,
So
Pretty
fucking
dope.
sick.
Yeah.
You got some shoes of the week, or
Got
you
some
want to do
fuckery?
fuckery first? Yeah, let's go
Fuckery?
Yeah, what you got, big boy?
Here we go. This week on fuckery,
Yes.
Zombie Ass, the toilet of the dead.
Is that a trauma movie?
No, this is an Asian movie.
Oh man, that shit is fucking
I
nuts.
did so head to our Instagram page and watch some clips if you want to see some visuals on Zombie Ass Toilet of the Dead. So this movie is another. It could have been a trauma. It should have been a trauma movie. It's over the top. It's about a group of friends that go. So these group of I guess they're high school students. They have this one karate kicking schoolgirl. This one guy who's a drug addict and his chick, and there's nerd that's with him that always throws up randomly, and a hot aspiring model who I think is a real porn star. What's that hot Asian one with the big boobs? Mazayuka? You know that porn star that she's anyways.
Blank looks.
She's taken her. I usually get blank looks when I
I don't
talk.
know.
When I talk,
names.
people
I
usually just look at me like, "What the
We
fuck?"
don't know names. We just know scenes.
But anyways, the hot aspiring model chick wants a parasite so she can get skinny, so she can be a supermodel. So she's making her friends take her to the country so they can eat raw fish there, so she can get a parasite. Tapeworm.
Yep.
So they go there. They pull this gnarly one out, and she eats it.
Jesus.
And so the karate kicking schoolgirl has a haunted past because her sister killed herself because the other girls were teasing her because she farted loud in public and she had shame to her family. And so she jumped off a fucking thing and showed her just jumping off this 2-story building. Ah! And so she's all haunted, having flashbacks. Well, the hot chick, anyways, long story short, there's an evil doctor with his daughter there in this crazy village. All these zombies start popping up out of the toilet. And there are these parasites that the doctor is putting... it's a fucking crazy... There's zombies coming out... There's zombie creatures coming out of people's butts. Okay?
Coming out of
my
people's
God.
Just watch it.
But for being such a crazy, wild, fucked up movie, it's actually a pretty cool concept.
Yeah.
You know,
No, it's
it's
crazy.
not out of its ass. Just you can tell
Yeah.
they thought about that idea for a while.
Yeah, the fights are badass because the karate kicking schoolgirl is like a badass, and she starts fighting off the town. They're in this village of zombies, and this doctor has an agreement with these parasites that he lets them go into his daughter, and he feeds them, and they don't kill his daughter, and they eat the cancer that's in his daughter's body.
Are we still talking about tapeworms or different parasite?
It's some kind of zombie ass parasite.
It's an
fucking
Asian
crazy
tapeworm.
movie.
Yeah, so Zombie Ass, the Toilet of the Dead. It's ridiculous. If you like trauma movies, you'll like it. And that's fuckery.
Yeah. Where'd you find it?
Amazon.
Amazon. It's dope. It's fucking it's nuts.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Is it good?
I think we
It's
should.
just a
It's
wild
fuckery,
shit.
huh?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fuckery.
Yeah.
I think we should talk about some of the reviews for it. I think reading the reviews. Classic Tokyo shock flick.
The stupid review.
Yeah, hold on. I need
Was
to
it
get,
review?
Yeah.
I gotta get to Rotten Tomatoes.
Good film.
Oh, good film. Watch it.
Yeah.
Next review. Good. Next review. Great. Next review. Pretty cool. Next review.
Oi!
Yeah.
Just edit all this out.
Oh,
Oh, it's not even in Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh man.
You can't even fucking get it in
Damn
Rotten
it.
Tomatoes.
that's how you know it's good.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh, here it is. Zombie Ass, the Toilet of the Dead. 32%.
It's actually pretty good.
When
I know,
a
right?
movie is called Zombie Ass, Toilet of the Dead, you know you're not meant to take that shit seriously. And I realize that was a pun right now, considering the fact that the film is pretty much nonstop toilet humor.
That's okay.
Japanese are really good at making these weird films that are just plain ridiculous. Like blah, blah, blah. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
Zombie Ass, Toilet of the Dead.
Zombie
Fuck it.
ass toilet of the day.
I've been waiting for this for a while. I've been waiting for a shoes of the
Oh,
week.
yeah.
Yeah,
Do
man.
it live at Live 105.
We about to
for
get
a minute.
busy with some
Shoes of the week.
I've been waiting for saving my voice for y'all.
I'm telling you.
This is Zano the Vision, the shoes of the week.
Let them know I'm finna erupt like a volcano. Me and my partner Zano.
Man, it's a badass shoe, man. Let me tell you like this.
What you got for us?
Oh, it's the Nike Air Max 90 Green Duck Camo.
It's a long title for
So they had the orange ones that dropped, but these are the eye-catching Air Max 90 features, vault mesh paneling on the toes, side panels, ankles, inner lining along the defining duck camouflage pattern overlays the tongue. From the contrast we see with the black accent and eyelets, heel tab, the Air Max unit and midsole, white laces matching the white midsole, and vault rubber outsole, top of the style. They going for $140. What's crazy, they come out May 15th, but it says 87 people wants it.
Yeah.
That's a damn lie. So when they drop this shoe, and what's bad about it is only going to be on Sneakers app. And they just reviewed something today that people are pissed with Sneakers app, man, because you get on there, you put in your information, and it puts you in line. And it says you're in line, then you look up, it's none. And some people been picking their sizes, taking it all the way to checkout, and it just crashes. Because we had a problem, talk about these shoes in another episode. We had a problem with some shoes crashing.
So it's only on Sneaker app?
It's on Kicks on Fire 2 and Sneakers app. But hopefully by the time the 15th come, a lot of people pick up on it and get it. But I think Sneaker app kind of get these exclusive shoes, which they are badass shoes.
Yeah.
What is duck camouflage?
It's just saying like
Versus
it's just saying the camouflage on the side.
Is that a different than deer camouflage?
Yeah, I guess they saying that's what they
Squirrel
mostly were doing
camouflage.
duck hunting. I'm thinking.
Well,
I think the deer is really more like the vest, because you're really not being seen in the deers. Most of the time they hunt ducks, they on the ground.
One thing I noticed about shoes, if it has more than 4 words in the title, it means $200 or more.
Yeah, and these are $140. But right now, okay, like say for instance, I hit buy now and it's closed. It's not even letting you get it right now. So by next week, it'll pop up and say buy now. Most time these right here, actually
They'll double? Maybe?
They'll double up, man. Because I know the other ones went for like the same amount, and then when they dropped, it's like instantly to 300.
300?
And it's like shit. That's what a lot of people are doing now. Anyway, it's like getting them and reselling them. If you can get more than one, it's like together. We all could be on the computer together. It comes out, you buy a pair, he buy a pair, she buy a pair.
I'm surprised you didn't do the Jordan 5s.
No, because I'm saving it.
Oh.
For when we do
fucking up the game.
Yeah, what Jordan?
Idiot!
What Jordan 5s are you talking about?
Like last week, I would say, I can't believe you're not doing
Hey,
I don't know what you're talking about.
We went and
Am I still doing the shoes of the week? Or it's over?
Okay, keep going.
So, okay. Badass shoe, clean ass silhouette is fucking camouflage to me goes with everything.
Tinker did that one?
Now, you know what's crazy? Now that you say that, Tinker Hatfield had designs on all Nikes. I see his hands and all kind of shit. I didn't know when they showed a little stencil drawing of him. All Nikes laid out.
Damn.
So I'm pretty sure because it has something to do with the ab sack and whatever. But he is involved in some type of deal. And these came out like 1990.
He pretty much touches everything.
He pretty much touches everything, which I don't blame him. It's a badass shoe. And if you have some of these shoes, they are comfortable as hell. And please don't get a size too big because these motherfuckers run big. They run like boats.
Yeah.
And don't get a size too, it's tricky.
Yeezy sizes.
Yeah, because it's like now they starting to throw 12 and a halves out there.
Yeah. Yeezy needs to make up his mind.
Man, Yeezy need to really
That shit don't make no sense. I either wear a 10.5 or a L4.
Yeah.
What?
It's like, yeah, what the hell is
fuck
that?
is
Like,
an
how you
L4?
order that? How do you order that?
Yeah.
This is a badass shoe. It's definitely guts approved, man. I love the fucking green. And I didn't get to get these shoes that came out today, so these might be on my list, but I can't be waking up at 9 in the morning getting in line on the internet. That shit just sucks, man.
Yeah.
Badass shoe, dope, come out May 15th. So that is next Friday. That's sick, man. I want them. So if y'all got $140, I need it from each one of y'all.
Yeah,
So I can buy 4
so
pairs.
just go ahead and hit us up on the DMs.
Yeah,
we'll
hit
send
us
you a
up.
payment request. We take Cash App.
I've
Venmo,
actually started a
Zelle.
fans only account.
Yeah,
The
he's
Space Viking fans only account.
And it's lethal.
I do
so-
beard twerking. I got my nips out.
All he
You know what I'm
does,
saying?
he shows his nipple, but it's so close you can't quite
You can't
make
tell
out
what it is.
Yeah.
Hey,
then
you
he
want to see a
zooms
big?
out.
Want to see a big hairy nipple? Check out my fans only, and
Yeah,
that brings
so that
us
is
to.
Yeah. Conspiracy.
And now it's time for Conspiracy. There's the luckiest me.
Conspiracy.
Hello, everybody out there. This is Low Key as me with your conspiracy theories of the week. Thank God we made it through that shit show that was called a national pandemic. It's never happened before. And we're looking at polio, thanking our lucky stars. And I have one question for you, Space Viking.
Talk about it.
Do you believe in mind control?
Like from a pimp standpoint?
You better, goddammit. This week's conspiracy of the week
That's
is
the Mac about mind control.
2 letters,
Tina Turner.
1 word, MK Ultra. You ever heard of MK Ultra?
No.
Well, MK Ultra was a top secret CIA project in which the agency conducted clandestine experiments, sometimes unwitting to U.S. citizens, to assess the potential use of LSD drugs and mind control for information gathering and psychological torture. Through MK Ultra, the MK Ultra project lasted from 1953 to 1973, and it was improved after the Cold War. So, what they did, and we know this, the only reason we know this for a fact is because it went 20 years past and they released all these files. And it's these massive files on this project called MK Ultra, and it kept coming up. And no one in the higher ranks of the CIA or the Navy or anyone had ever heard of this before, so they started looking into it. And the retired generals and stuff started coming out about it. They were like, look, we really, just because we're generals and we're high ranking, there's a whole different tier above us that we don't even know it exists. MK Ultra is kind of a,
So it's like a group
example
of the CIA?
It's a
black
beer.
ops group.
Yeah, it sounds like, isn't that a beer?
MK Ultra?
Sounds
Yeah.
like a
No.
flat beer.
So basically what they did is they took U.S. citizens and didn't tell them, hey, you're just coming in for, we're going to run tests on you. We're going to give you some money. And so what they did is they gave them LSD. They did all kind of mind control stuff. This is where DMT was kind of found in the Western world. And what they were trying to do, they were trying to do 4 major things. Mind control, and then another thing that was called satellite mind control. So basically, you come here, we treat you, and then in 2 years, we could turn you on and make you do things.
Fuck yeah.
Wow.
And then memory implanting. So you could go do things, kill people, burn down houses and shit, and then you come back home and you think you've been sitting at home watching TV all night.
Spicy.
Isn't that kind of like the Manchurian Candidate?
Kind of.
Sound
And
like
basically,
this is where Hannibal too.
this is where all those ideas, like the Manchurian Candidate, came from. Is MK Ultra? It's kind of the root, and it produced great American heroes like pieces of shit, like
Here's a nice piece of shit.
like Charles Manson was a part of
What about
MK
David?
Ultra. And if you look into it, Charles Manson, when
What?
he came out of prison, he did his 7-year prison sentence. And he went straight, he was allowed to go straight to San Francisco on parole. And he was only allowed this one parole officer. He used to go to this office that was on hate with his crew, with his family. And his
After Helter Skelter?
No, during. Like when all the thing was going on, right? And he was
Yeah,
building
yeah.
it and stuff. He would go to this place once a week. It had no things on the doors or anything. And this is the only place his parole officer was. And his parole officer didn't meet anybody else, no other clients, no nothing, and nothing else happened in this building, right? This book came out 4 months ago explaining the Helter Skelter thing and the whole CIA's involvement in Charles Manson, right? The day after this book came out, it's been this office has been seeing one client at a time since the 60s. One client at a time. It's just one building. It shut down the day after this book came out, 4 months ago. The day after.
Man.
It's fucking insane. And Ted Kaczynski, you know who that is? The Unabomber.
The fucking Unabomber.
Yeah. Guess who was involved when Ted Kaczynski was a young man and in college he went into these mind experiment things, and they messed with his mind. Turns out he's on the record books for MK Ultra. They fucked with his mind. Completely lost his mind. Complete hermit. Thought technology was going to destroy the world, and thought he would destroy everything. So they fucked up a lot and there's no telling how many undocumented people are out there, like Charles Manson, like Ted Kaczynski. All these people, we don't have any idea who else is out there that they.
So the government made a fucking group to try to control people's minds.
Yep.
And Ted Kaczynski and Charles Manson were in
all
part
on
of
this
that.
list. Yep.
Hey,
That's fucking nuts.
Isn't that nuts?
Conspiracy. Conspiracy.
Charles Manson.
Well, all I gotta say, fellas, is it's good to be back in the saddle again.
No shit.
Back in the motherfucking saddle.
Dr. B, do you have a segment?
I don't today.
So Dr. B says hi.
Hello.
Dr. B says hi, and Dr. B says we're gonna live through this, aren't we?
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
wear your mask and wash your hands and
Wash your ass.
Wash
and
your
play with
ass,
yourself. So, big shout out to Black Fawn Distribution.
Yes.
They sent us 2 movies.
Yes. The Ranger.
They sent us The Ranger and they sent us Harpoon.
Yes. Harpoon.
2 dope little movies from their company. The Ranger is a crunk little. It's like these punk rock kids. There's a lot of homage to Return of the Living Dead. They have.
Yeah.
Like the car they use, spray painted like the Return of the Living Dead. The van they use is spray painted like the Return of the Living Dead car. Blah blah blah. These punk rock kids they're on the run for murder. They go in the mountains, and this park ranger just
That's on another episode.
kills them.
It's dope.
And Harpoon,
Yeah.
which is like 3 friends, that 1 girl and 2 guys, and both guys are in love with her, and it's kind of a love triangle, and they're out at sea, and shit gets cray.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Harpoon and the Ranger, check them out. Thank you, Black Fawn Distribution.
Yes, we appreciate y'all.
And
we watched them and we love them.
It's good to be back with you guys. If you want to get involved, I know y'all have been stuck at the house and shit. If y'all want to get out and about and come see some cool shit and do some fun shit and hang out with us and support us and play with the G.U.T.S family, May 23rd, y'all be looking out for the flyers. We're doing the first ever
G.U.T.S Drive-In!
Yeah.
Ow!
That's right. We're showing, it's a drive-in, old school drive-in movie theater situation. You're going to tune in your radio. The audio is going to play for your thing. We got popcorn. We got drinks. We got food.
Finger banging.
Banging.
Pussies.
And if you come dressed like a car, you get in for free.
God damn it.
Oldsmobile.
I can't get shit out.
A 98 Oldsmobile on Swangers, you get in for free.
Yeah, see, I'll be looking out for the flyer for that. If you're in the Houston area, it's going to be super dope. I promise we'll be showing old school horror movies the old school way. Also, follow us on Twitch. We've been very active on Twitch.
Shout out to Heather.
Heather Loves Horror's been out there doing her fucking thing, playing. If you're into horror games like Dead by Daylight, what's the other one? Resident Evil, Mortal Kombat, all these horror games.
And Jason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th game. So she's been going on pretty much twice a day, killing it on Twitch. Follow us on Twitch. Twitch is a new thing that I got into. I'm just obsessed with watching it. Can't play video games for shit, but I love watching them. I know it's the dumbest shit ever, but I fucking love it.
Follow us also, on Twitch. Man, go to our link in our bio, www.gutspodcast.com. We got new badass merch on there.
Yeah, the merch is so badass.
Yeah, we got some crazy merch coming out. Please like, subscribe, and share, rate, and review us on all the things.
And on YouTube.
Shout out to Heather Loves Horror, who's our new member, and she's doing a new segment for y'all called VILFs.
Yeah.
Villains I'd like to fuck.
And she's been killing it. She's been really, really pulling her weight. Yeah.
Yeah, it's dope, man.
It's going down.
Thank you guys for sticking in there with us.
And here's Mark Torgl, the Toxic Avenger himself.
Yes, I'm Zano the Vision.
Space Viking.
Low-key as me.
Dr. B.
Aye!
We out.
Ow!
Horror movies are live.
Hello there.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, who's this, Zano and Space Viking?
Yeah, what's up?
Welcome to G.U.T.S Podcast, man.
Cool, man.
Hey,
how you guys doing?
Oh, man.
well, you know, we're trying to hang in there, man, you know, with all the craziness going on. How about you? How y'all hanging out there?
Yeah, the same thing. I'm actually still going into my job which is a media company. So we're exempt from the lockdown.
Oh yeah, y'all essentials.
What's that?
I say y'all are essential.
Yeah. Where are you guys based?
We're out of Houston, Texas.
Oh, cool. I just did a convention in Austin.
Oh yeah,
near Austin, the Bass Strap.
Yeah, the Cult Classic Convention.
Yeah, it was really fun.
There's some really cool people out there.
Yeah, that's
man.
awesome.
We didn't get to make that one this year, but I love the gas station out there, man.
Yeah. That was the first time I really spent any time in Texas, and I really liked it.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was fun.
Are you coming
What's that?
Are you coming to the Texas Frightmare if they have it this year?
When is that?
It's supposed to be in. They moved it to September.
Yeah. Well, I haven't gotten an invitation to that. I usually, need to get an invitation, but I haven't been doing too many of those lately because I was doing a bunch of them when I was making my new movie because it was kind of a backdrop.
The
Toxic Tutu.
Yeah. But since that's finished and been released, the Cult Classic, they contacted me and they sounded really cool and I had a good time there. But that's the only one I've done in a couple of years.
Oh, that's what's up, man.
Well, thank you so much, man,
appreciate you, man,
for giving us your time and talking to us, man. We especially with everything crazy going on, I just really appreciate it so much. I'm sure you we watched Toxic Tutu yesterday, and you can kind of see like some of the back scenes of how people coming up to you, and I'm sure you get this all the time. People just come up to you and tell you what these movies mean to them, and how I've watched it 50,000 times, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, especially at the conventions, that's where it really happens. Because those are the fans that come to those things. So I can lead a pretty normal life in Los Angeles without anybody knowing who I am. But when I go to the conventions, everybody knows who I am. So it's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, what's that like, man? Because Toxic Avenger came out in 84?
86, I think. 86.
I think we made it in 84, and then it came out in 86, I think.
So all these years later, nerds like us are like, Mark, can we please talk to you? What's that like? That's got to be crazy.
It is. It's really exciting. It's really cool. The funny thing is, most of the people come up and say, "Oh, I watched that when I was a kid. I watched it over and over." And it kind of gives me a laugh because it's such not a kid's movie.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
But,
right off the bat.
Yeah, it's like the gym scene. It's like it's like semi-porn a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's like the most turned up gym that ever lived. You right off the bat, you got like naked people and titties out everywhere. It's probably why people like us love it so much. I love like I was watching you on Toxic Tutu talking about how you were in film school in New York. And you saw like a piece of paper or something that said, "Do you want to be in a movie?"
Well, it was I was going to film school at NYU, and Troma put up a notice on our job board. People post stuff there for certain odd jobs that students can do. And Troma put one up and said, this is the film school. You should come and work on a real movie at Troma, and it's like, we won't pay you like you would on a real movie, but you'll get great experience. So I went down there and met with them, and they were going to let me do anything I wanted, basically. I asked to be the script supervisor, and they were like, "Great, you can be the script supervisor. What else do you want to do?" And it just, it was like, I should have just said, "Can I direct it? Because that would be great."
Yeah,
but
that's crazy. The whole thing of it is just so crazy to me, and how it just blew up to, like, I don't know who doesn't know the Toxic Avenger. You know what I mean? I mean, it's like, it's crazy how it just started like that with people who just want to make movies, and like Lloyd Kaufman and all that. What's he like to work with, like, on the set?
He's crazy. He's manic. He's always joking around and making like sexual advances, but they're always like tongue in cheek. But he's fun to work with, but he can also get really erratic if something's not going right for him, and he can get crazy and yell and scream. But we've become really good friends. He has continuously asked me to, be in his films. And even starting with, the very first film I made with them, it wasn't the Toxic Avenger. It was the first Turn On. Do you guys know that film?
Right. Yeah. We watched it yesterday to kind of like,
okay.
Make sure so just to like backstory, we're a couple of idiots. You know what I mean? Like we don't really, like, we don't know shit. We have no qualifications. It's basically Beavis and Butthead on the couch. But we, we were so stoked to talk to you. We were like, let's watch all these movies. And
right.
Since there's nothing going on.
Yeah. Well, that was the one, where they put the job notice up, and I was on the crew, being the script supervisor, and I actually wrote some additional scenes for it, because that was another thing. He said, "What else do you want to do?" And I said, "Can I write?" And he was like, "Yeah, you can write some additional scenes." But the way I got involved in the acting is we were shooting, and the scene for the boyfriend of the camp counselor, the actor that they hired just didn't show up. And we were all there ready to shoot. And, he had a pretty extensive part. And so Lloyd looked at me and he said, "Mark, you do it." And, I mean, they didn't know if I could act or not. But I actually had acting experience in high school and a little bit in college. So I was happy to do it. And it was just, be outrageous, be over the top. You're socially awkward, and I had such fun doing it. And they liked what I did so much in it. When they made Toxic Avenger the next year, they apparently auditioned like 100 kids, and they said, "You know what? We really want what Mark did last year." And they called me up and told me about Toxic Avenger, which was not called Toxic Avenger then. It was called Health Club Horror.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, you could see where that's going with that, though.
Yeah. And they told me about it, and they said, if you want, to be the main character that turns into the monster, we'd love to have you, because what you did last year is exactly what we want. So I did it, and I also still did the script supervising on the movie.
We really tripped off the fact that, like, so much stuff could get away with in this movie that, like, right now people have so much things to say about it online and stuff. Like, first of all, the guys in Trans Am running over people, like, for sport, and like
right.
like smashing people's heads and shit. It's like the certain language you get to use. You kind of you miss that era of movies being made without, like, that's why we love Trauma so much, because you miss that a movie being made without somebody saying, "You know what, don't put that in there." It's like you said, "Hey, can you write? Can you direct? Can you do this?" It's like, "Hey, put it in there.
Yeah.
This is our movie. We could do what we want to do. We don't matter who watches it." And this is like genius, man.
Trauma continues to be pretty outrageous, though. Even their new movies. Have you seen the Return to Nukem High Part 2?
No.
I'm in that one too.
Right on. I love
that Nukem High is the shit.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies in the world is Subhumanoid Meltdown. So I didn't know that you were in the new one, man. I need to check that out. So that's how. So you just showed up. You're gonna be Melvin for the mop guy, and you show up, and it's like it must have been crazy on set. There's like titties out everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, since I was also on the crew, I saw the whole movie being made.
Nice.
And at the time, we would joke about the way it was being shot and how ridiculous things seemed to be. And we would say either this is going to be the worst movie ever made, or it's going to be a huge cult film. And kind of turned into both in a way.
Yeah, it really did, because a lot of people, what's crazy, some people didn't know about the movie, and the cartoon blew up for a lot of people.
Right. I didn't know too much about the cartoon, but I know that it was, kind of a socially environmental conscious cartoon.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Captain Planet that will kick your ass type deal with Toxic Crusader cartoon.
Right.
It was totally out of the ordinary, and I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Well, I get a lot of people coming up to me and saying that they started they watched the Toxic Crusaders first, when they were kids, and then they would kind of discovered, oh, it's based off of this movie.
Yeah.
Toxic Avenger, and then they watched the movie, and it was like completely different than what they expected. But
yeah, the movie has like the best gore and kills that you could. It's like different kills that you wouldn't even think would happen. We're trying to do the body count yesterday on when he was fighting against the Nas. What's the other Toxic Crusader?
Oh, Kabuki Man.
Oh yeah.
We was trying to get the body count up when he went in the hospital.
Yeah, we watched yesterday. We watched Citizen Toxie, and you were in that when you were Evil Melvin.
Yeah.
Right. That was one that that was the first one I came back for after Toxic Avenger, because they wanted me to be in Toxic Avenger 2 and 3. Which was actually just 2, but they made it into 2 movies, so it became 2 and 3. And we were talking about bringing me back for a flashback or whatever. And I had already moved to California, and they said they would fly me back. And I was like, well, can you pay me something? Because they don't pay anybody. Nobody gets paid on a trauma film. Very few people.
How does that work out? Like, do they get y'all food or something, or a place to sleep, or y'all just kind of sleep on the set? Yeah,
they feed you, and they, give you transportation and stuff. And if it's like on location, it's almost like they find a gymnasium or something where everybody just sleeps, on the floor. It's pretty crazy.
It's like a big party, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, in a way it is. But getting back to Toxic Avenger 2 and 3, I was like, can you pay me something? Give me $100 or something. And Lloyd was like, yeah, that's just not the Troma way. And I said, well, send me the script. And I looked at the script, and I just thought it was awful. And so I passed on it. And Lloyd wrote that book, Everything I Know About Filmmaking I Learned from the Toxic Avenger. And in it, he says the biggest mistake he ever made was not paying me the $50 I asked for to be in Toxic Avenger 2, because they got a fake guy, or a different Melvin, and they put like big fake teeth on him, and he's forever known as the fake Melvin. I feel sorry for the guy.
Oh shit!
Well, it's funny is even in like Citizen Toxie, that's another great thing about Troma is like they mention it. They go, well, this is the real sequel because 2 and 3 sucked. We're sorry about that.
Boy, I haven't seen that movie since it came out, and I saw it in the theater, so I should pick it up again.
Man, it's so wild, dude.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's so wild. We were just watching it like, man, like it would be a nightmare to get released today with all the political correct internet warriors out there. I mean, it just wouldn't happen, like it's so crazy to me watching it now. And I just love that about it. It's like, I miss that kind of in movies where everything is, so people are scared of offending people. I'm thinking like, man, it's just entertainment,
Right. Well, Troma still does it. You need to watch Return to Nukem High Part 2.
Definitely go watch it.
I think I'm also in Part 1 because somebody said I was, even though I didn't think I was. But Troma tends to use shots over and over again in different movies. You like to say, there's a car crash scene in Toxic Avenger where a car flips over and lands on its top, and I think they put that in almost every one of their movies.
Yeah. They say you got to hurry up and get out because these cars normally blow up right now.
Yeah. It's funny too, that scene, when we shot it, because at the time I was the script supervisor, I was behind the camera, and we saw the car land on its top, and it collapsed. The roll bar didn't work, and we thought the stunt driver was dead because the roll bar just collapsed. And so everyone ran over there, and luckily it only collapsed on the passenger side, not the driver's side. So he was okay. But Lloyd said if he had killed that guy, that would have been the end of Troma right there.
Damn,
shit.
That's intense.
Damn.
So when you when Melvin turns into the Toxic Crusader, what was the makeup on you, and how long did that take to go through that?
It was really intense. First, we had to do a pre-makeup mask where they took a mold of my face, and that was done at the office, and that took a half a day.
Damn.
Just to do that, and that was just to work, with the final makeup. And then when they did the makeup, it was, since they had that, it was probably about a half a day to get the makeup on. And the makeup team was really good. They were young and inexperienced, but they were really good at what they were doing. They, really did their research. And it was really cool, the outcome. The funny thing is, they were really good at putting the makeup on, but they weren't very good at getting the makeup off. We were struggling after we shot to get that makeup off, and there was a whole team scrubbing at me and using different product to get it off, and it just wasn't coming off. And finally, somebody took me to a YMCA that was nearby. And they were they got permission for me to go in the shower and just work on it myself. And I was in there naked, scrubbing at my face in the shower, trying to pull this rubbery makeup off of me. And while I was doing that, the boys' swimming team came into the shower after their practice, and they just saw this naked monster pulling at his face.
Oh, shit.
I think they all just bolted out of there because they didn't know what the hell was going on. I'm sure they were traumatized forever.
Oh, shit.
We have it pulled up right now, and they just turned the lights on, and you're with the goat.
Yeah.
And you're running through the crowd in the tutu. Just so iconic, man. How old were you when y'all did that?
I was in my young 20s because I was in college, and I think I was 22 or something like that. You know who's in that scene by the pool? Marissa Tomei.
No shit.
It was her first movie.
Oh shit.
Marissa Tomei, man, she's still a babe.
Yeah. I like to tell people that she liked to play with my mop.
Yeah.
The that's crazy. What was the stuff in the toxic waste barrels? Was that Jello?
Yeah, it was called gelatin, and it's very much like Jello. It was. I actually did. The stunt guy dove into it from the window,
No shit.
Well, he didn't dive into that. He dove into like, you know, a trampoline or a net or something. But I actually then crawled into the barrel of gelatin to show me coming out of it. So that was kind of crazy too, because I was in there wiggling my feet and stuff.
Oh wow! Did it get all in your mouth and stuff like that?
No, I mean, I think I just kind of, you know, held everything in, held my breath, and held my nose.
Every time I watch this, I always think of the guy whoever created the Ninja Turtles kind of took y'all's idea.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised
with the toxic, because it's like it's not normal for like how the toxic turn you into something else, and then all of a sudden they come up with the same little idea, toxic hitting the turtles, and it turns them into this mutated Ninja Turtles. But we like the fire scene, man. That is an epic scene. I know the stunt guy probably really loved doing that part.
Yeah, I think that's another one of those trauma scenes that they reuse all the time. Is the guy on fire?
Yeah. Like so we was watching the other. I said, man, that's too perfect for it to be the same way. We was like, nah, that gotta be the replay of the shot.
Oh, I'm sure it is. That's what they do. You know, my hand actually caught on fire during that scene.
No shit.
Because the guy that, you know, I think it was a cop first that came up and touched me, and his hand started on fire. Well, a flame like fell down from him onto my hand and actually caught my hand on fire for real. And I still have a scar there from that.
Damn,
that is
crazy.
Nuts. And when you pull, like you're in the tub and you pull your hair out, is that like a little like hat thing that they put on you with a wig, or is that's
part of that makeup he couldn't get off?
Yeah, it was all part of that makeup. It was like, I think they had like a skull wig so that I could pull it off. And they had, you know, bladders in my arms and stuff, and there were people on the floor like blowing into them so that my arms would bubble up.
Wow.
It's all pretty crude back then, you know. Now everything's special effects. But back then they had to really, you know, figure out a way to do this in reality, you know. So.
I think it looks so much cooler than a lot of stuff now, though. Like the CGI, you know, you're basically, to me, it just looks like a cartoon. So when you have those crude special effects, I think there's something about it that gives it like a realness and like a griminess to it, you know?
Yeah. Well, and then the big scene where I turn into Toxie was just, you know, I was at the mirror and I just ducked down and Toxie popped up, you know?
Yeah. So we laughing at your mom. She thinking you becoming a man in that.
So epic. Okay, Mark. Well, we have a couple of our listeners had some questions for you. You mind if we ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
So our homie Black Gustavo out of Chi-Town. What's up, Black Gustavo?
What's up?
He asked. He wanted to know what it's like to be the greatest superhero ever.
Well, I appreciate that. That's the first time I ever heard that, but I'll take it. You know, I'll take it.
He also said, have they ever thought of doing a Toxie remake?
Oh, they do. In fact, there's one in the works.
Hell yeah.
Legendary Pictures, Legendary Films has it scheduled to do. And Lloyd and Michael are actually going to be producers on it. And Lloyd called me and said that they actually want me to have a cameo in it. So
you gotta be in it, man.
You got to, man.
It's only right, man. If it's like you gotta be in it, you the OG of this, man.
I'll finally get paid to do the Toxic Avenger.
I know, right? You're like, give me my damn $50 plus more, goddammit.
Right.
So our buddies, the Hellhounds of Horror podcast, they had a question. They said they wanted to know. Shout out to those guys. They wanted to know who would win in a fight. Who do you think would win in a fight between Toxie or Sergeant Kabuki Man?
Toxie, of course.
Hey!
he's got all the toxic energy on his side, you know.
Yeah, I know, man. It's fucking like awesome, man. I was laughing at the ending scene when the baby came out, two different babies.
Oh yeah, yeah. The boxing scene, right?
Yeah.
Weren't they boxing each other inside the womb?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It was like, I'm like, man, you can't even think of like the thought process of putting that in the movie or thinking about that is like epic, man.
Yeah.
Mark, we don't want to take up too much more of your time, man. We just want to say
we appreciate you,
thank
man.
you so much for
you are a superhero, bro.
For talking to us. Yeah, man, you are our hero, bro. Like, we really appreciate you. You're a legend.
And we can't wait to
guys.
see what y'all have in store with the new Toxic coming up, man.
Yeah, we'll see when that happens.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This was just like, this made my year, man. I really appreciate it.
Cool. Glad I could do it.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I'll send you the link and when the episode comes out, man. Thank you so much, and be safe and stay healthy, man.
Horror movies.
Yeah, you guys too.
All right. Talk to you later.
Take care. Bye.
Horror goons. I'm Zano the Vinci. Your boy ATX and Space Viking. Trying to figure shit out. This changed my life forever. Yes.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Torgl, Melvin the Mop Boy from the Toxic Avenger, and I'm talking to Zano and Space Viking from G.U.T.S Podcast.
Hey! Hell yeah, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Mark,
So awesome.
legend, man.